Ladies and gentlemen, I am a free man. I was not in prison, but my exams got cancelled, so I'm a free man. I'll never have to do school mathematics again in my life, which is just like sheer jubilation that gives me is pretty hard to put into words. But yeah, I just had to begin with that. I am finally a free man. Feels great. Um, And this week, welcome back to another episode of whatever this is. Not a lot has happened in Russian football since we last talked, but there are still topics that you can come up with, and there's obviously going to be a lot is happening in overall European football, so we'll get to that. But as always, I'm joined by Artem. Artem, what's up? How's it going? What's going on?
Man, I'm all good. Congratulations again on finishing school. Absolutely massive. This year has been a bit of a wild one for you so far already. Getting your Russian football break, finishing school, never having to go back to that shit again. I just congratulations. There's not much else I can say, and thank you for everyone who hashtagged free Hanu on Twitter.
Yeah,
Respect.
exactly. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, man, it feels good. I'm grateful to God, to the government, even though they're still idiots. So yeah, man, I'm just grateful. The COVID situation in India is getting better as well. Well, that's what they're saying at least, which is also nice. Um, yeah, thank you to everyone that said free Hanu, and I had something to say and I've completely forgotten it now. Um,
Speech. That's what you were going for, right?
no, I don't know. I'll maybe remember it, but the Euros
It's gonna be 30 minutes into the podcast. We're gonna be talking
exactly.
about something completely
It
different.
might
And you just go back and be like,
yeah, it might even be after the episode. Oh yeah, no, actually, I will say it after the episode, I guess. Um, but there's only
okay,
there's only
cool.
9 days left until the Euros autumn.
Nine
Yeah,
days. That's
that's
mental.
mental. That's mental. Um, the warm-up friendlies are in full swing. There's a couple going on right now. There'll be a couple going on later, at the time of recording. And Russia played one of their two friendlies yesterday. It was against Poland. Poland put out their second string squad. There was no Lewandowski. There was no Glick. There was no Bednarek. There was no Linetti. It was only
Excuse me, Hanu. Are you telling me that Kedziora and Helik aren't their best players?
no, they aren't. Krykowiak was captain on the night. So
Number 10 too.
number 10 too,
Big man.
exactly. This is like the peak of his football career. He's never been given this much importance. Um, but yeah, did you watch the game first of all?
Not gonna lie, I didn't watch the game, but you know what? I did see the Russia goal. I didn't see the Poland goal. So you know what? You might analyze the game for us. Just let us know how it went, and then just your general thoughts, and then I might comment on just a few moments that I've seen.
Yeah, for sure. I watched the full game mainly because it was on TV and there was nothing else to do. Um, except sleeping. I probably
I
should
love how
have
you have to
slept.
justify it with that. Not that, oh yeah, I'm a fan of Russian football and all this stuff. It's,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I had nothing else to do and it was on TV.
that's true.
That's your justification for
Exactly.
watching Russia.
That,
There's no other reason.
there isn't because if you look at the squad that he put out, Kuziaev at left wing back, Kudryashov starting, uh, and then he wasn't playing long balls, which sort of nullified Zuba entirely, and it was like a Golovin and Miranchuk as the attacking midfielders, which I actually like. But I really don't want Cherchesov to do tactical innovations 9 days before the Euros. Poland scored like 4 minutes in. It was a pretty shocking goal from a Russia perspective. The guy just chipped a ball into the box, and the defense was just stood there because they thought they'd done the offside trap. They hadn't. Kudryashov got exposed, and one of the guys that name start with Swee, Swiatek, he just had like a really easy finish. And then Russia were pretty tepid, pretty lukewarm for the entire game. But Golovin came up with a moment of magic, as they say. Great ball to Karavayev, who finished from close range. It was a tight angle, and then the game just sort of died out. No one was really trying. Um, but yeah, it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence that Russia can't even beat a second string Poland team. And all the newspapers have like these weird experts who are saying that because Belgium don't have De Bruyne, it's going to be an even game, which I don't know how deluded you have to be to say that. Um, but yeah, Artem, what do you think? Like, does this poor result affect your predictions for Russia, or do you think it's all good? Stanny's at the wheel.
No, not at all. It doesn't affect my predictions really. Look, at the end of the day, it's a friendly. I think it's more about getting the players to play with each other again. Like, look, it would be nice to win or whatever, but like, let's be honest, you'd rather take the losses in friendly matches than in official games. You'd rather the players didn't go out there and kill themselves. Um, in the lead up to the big games. So like, although it may have been a disappointing performance, it's not really that deep, you know.
Yeah,
That's the way I'm looking at it anyway.
yeah,
And the ball from Golovin for the goal though,
was
like
phenomenal.
magic is the
Yeah,
only way to
it
describe it because
was
that was absolutely unbelievable.
it was great, yeah, and that's what you need, man. That's the type of technicality you need to create those moments of magic, to be the X factor. And that's why I don't understand why people like Kozyaev play. Because I don't think it's a surprise that Karavayev, who spent a lot of his career abroad, got the goal. That Golovin played so well, Miranchuk as well. And that's why I feel like, it's important for Russian players to go abroad. We talked about it a lot. Um,
Yeah, but you say that, but like the reason that all those players have been going abroad is because they're the better players from Russia, like especially Miranchuk and Golovin. Like that's without a doubt. Karavayev went over when he was young, so
yeah,
I
and he
guess he's
turned out
kind
well.
of an exception. But I mean, he was still fairly highly rated. To be fair, like he wouldn't have been picked up by Vitesse if he wasn't. Obviously, he had a few good seasons in the Czech Republic beforehand, but like he wasn't a bum. Like he wasn't
No,
just
yeah, for sure.
a random dude. Like he was a young player who had potential.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so
So yeah, Safonov got his debut, which I thought was surprising because first of all, when he was coming on, I thought he hadn't even been picked for the team, and I don't know how he got picked over Maximenko, but whatever. So he came on in like the 62nd minute, got his debut. I thought he'd already played a couple of games before, but apparently not. Yeah, but apart from that, there's not much else. Not much else.
he
Gone.
yeah, I mean, fair play to Safonov for getting his debut. It's obviously a great occasion. Not sure that he'll be the main goalkeeper in the tournament, but it's always nice to get someone out like that. We talked about this, I think, before on our episode when we discussed the squad that was announced,
Yeah.
and I think we both said that it could have been really either Maximenko or Safonov. It was likely not going to be both. Um, I do think Shunyan is probably the man to start. To be honest, I think he's a great goalkeeper. But Safonov is not a bad choice either. Neither is Dupin.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, I put forward a very bold prediction to Artem the other day. Um, and what I said was that this is going to be Fedor Smolov's tournament. Now
Yeah, Hanu says this when the man is not even in the
exactly
squad, right?
right.
And the only chance he has at this point of getting in the squad is a Russian striker getting injured in the next probably 3 days.
Yeah, that's true. But I just feel like, right, and this has nothing. I have no information. This is me purely going on emotions and romanticism and so on, because Smolov was the star man at up until the 2018 World Cup, and then
Yeah.
Zuba just sort of stole his career from him. For the three last 3 years, Zuba's been Russia's star man, and Smolov, I'm pretty sure he was depressed for at least 2 years. Then he went to Celta Vigo, sort of started playing football again. And now, under Nikolic, he has really reinvented himself and become a proper good striker, right? So I
Mm.
just feel like the world is going to align to give him his moment, right? And there's no sense to it. It's probably, there's lots of memes on Twitter about the astrology girls. I'm being pretty close to one right now. But yeah, I have no foundations for my belief. I just feel like it's going to happen.
Well, this podcast isn't about foundations and statistics. This
Yes.
podcast is about vibes,
Vibes, yes.
and but it is still very surprising that you made that prediction to me, because the way I'd look at it, you'd almost be better off betting on Zabalotny. Like,
No.
everyone's memeing on him right now, and everyone's being like, "Oh, what the fuck? Why would CSK sign him on a 3-year deal, paying 1.2 million a year?" Um, and it feels like for me that the Euros might even be his chance to kind of prove himself, if that makes sense. Like, that's the kind of way I'd look at that. That's the kind of, dreamy scenario
Yeah.
vibe that I would get. But saying that, like, it's unlikely as well. I think that realistically it's going to be Zuber and Sobolev leading the line, and you know, I can't imagine one of the strikers getting injured the next 3 days. I kind of like it would be nice to have Smolov in the squad, but like at this point, I just can't see it happening.
Yeah, that's what I hope he gets his chance though in the Europa League or something. Uh,
Yeah,
because
we
yeah, go on.
yeah, no, it would be good for him to get a chance in the Europa League. I think that next year, under Nikolic, he'll have a good chance to prove himself again as one of the better strikers in the league. Obviously, last week we were looking at unpopular opinions. One of them was that he's not good enough to lead anyone but Ural.
Yeah, shocking
Um,
opinion still.
yeah, it is a shocking opinion, but I think that maybe next season will be the one to for him to prove himself at. Like, at the end of the day, Smolov isn't old. Like, he's what, 31?
Yeah.
So you're forgetting that the World Cup is next year. That could well be his tournament.
Oh, it is next year. Yeah. I don't know. I just
Exactly.
thought it was like 2 years from now. No, but see, listen, because like Benzema is 33, he's still balling. Giroud is
Yeah,
like 45, he's still balling. Zuba's older than Smolov, so like he's
yeah.
got years in him. He's got years in him.
No, but this is what I'm saying though, because like it could be, you know, 4 years on from the Russia World Cup that's when Small have proved himself, and like that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility
Yeah,
for me.
it wouldn't. Yeah,
But I think your prediction for the Euros is a little bit.
it
Can't see
might.
it
It might
happening.
be. Yeah, it might be. No, because to be fair, in our World Cup video, we did talk about how Akinfeev had a shock in 2014, and then he redeemed himself 4 years later. So
Exactly.
I'm excited now. I'm excited for that. Uh,
Happy days. Well, I'm glad I got you excited.
yeah,
While before we go on to the topic of Russia's actual final squad for the Euros, I do want to actually mention Benzema. You mentioned him there,
yeah.
right? Have you seen all the videos of him in training for France?
I've seen a few. Yeah.
The players seem to be absolutely in awe of him.
Ye-
Like, there's a video of him getting balls at the edge of the box, and Mbappe's just watching on as Benzema shoots it into the bottom right corner, and then into the top right, or sorry, the bottom left and then top right corner. And like, there's another one of like they're playing the rondo,
Yeah.
and the ball comes to him, and he just kind of stops. The ball runs past. The player who's in the middle obviously is like, what the fuck? What just happened? Everyone crowds around Benzema. There's players coming over to give him handshakes. Like, they seem to love him in that squad.
Why wouldn't you, man? He's always got a smile on his face. He's just a lethal striker. Nobody hates Karim Benzema except Matthew Valbuena. Um, and I think he's gonna have a big tournament, and he deserves it. Like he's played in one World Cup. I don't think
Yeah.
he was at the Euros in 2016. Might be wrong, but I don't think he was. And yeah, I think France are favorites to win the Euros. What do you think? And I think, by the way, before you talk about that, I think France will win it, and Turkey will do really, really well. I feel like Turkey will reach the
Turkey. Okay.
semi-final or something.
Wow. Okay. 2008 vibes.
Yeah, 2008 vibes. Hope Russia make it too.
Well, that means Russia will make it as well.
Yeah, imagine we just were France in? No, the France weren't in 2008, were they?
Um.
No, no, no. Yeah, no. They got battered by the Netherlands, and then Russia battered the Netherlands.
Yeah. I'll never forget that game.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think my favorite's probably the same. France. Their squad depth is just unbelievable. Like, it's so unique to see a team that has every position down like perfectly, to the point where players like Aymeric Laporte has to move to Spain
yeah,
because he's just not getting a game. Like, it's insane how good that squad is.
yeah,
And I think Benzema, the addition of him, what he's added to the culture of the team already, um, is just it's just unbeatable. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like, I actually think that France will probably win it, and Benzema will be top scorer, and it's that like that's just my
Oh, see, now you're just getting me so
fairy
excited
tale.
about everything. Because Benzema is the ultimate vibes footballer. Like
Yeah,
he has got like his vibe counter is at 100, his football counter is at 100, and Mario Balotelli has like 100 vibes. Kokorin has 100 vibes, but their careers never got above 50 or 60 maybe. But Benzema is like
yeah.
maxed out, so you have to respect it.
That's the thing. He's unbelievable, and like you know, like I've rated Benzema for a long time. Like I've rated him back since his days at Lyon, and just it's great to see that even now, this many years on, he's still absolutely ripping it up for Real, and hopefully going to be ripping it up again for France.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Speaking of,
yeah,
this is completely off topic, but I just want to talk about a few transfers and then we'll get to the squad. Speaking of strikers that rip it up, Evgeny Markov left Krasnodar, and he's going to be on his way to Sochi. He's got 5 professional goals in 2 years, and
the rebuild, Hanu?
yeah, see, I was so excited about the rebuild, and this is what they're going to do with it. I mean, I'd rather they buy Ari.
I can't believe you didn't see this coming.
I thought they were going to change, man. Because the last 2 or 3 signings they've made were good. I would honestly prefer Ari and a couple of, I would prefer Adair to Evgeny Markov. I think Adair has more goals than Evgeny Markov in 2 years.
I'd prefer Adair to Yevgeny Markov, but at the same time, you've got to be looking at still the limit does exist. So
Sochi have 5 foreigners.
Markov is, yeah, well, still though, you never know what they're going to be bringing in after. Like Benzema might do well at the Euros, and Sochi might bring him in.
That could happen,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, like they brought in World Cup winner Rami a few years ago.
They did.
Um, I like it makes sense, the transfer, I guess, because they're kind of replacing Zabalotny with Markov, and kind of hoping that the form that they were able to bring out of Zabalotny, they'll be able to bring out of Markov as well. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's very likely. I think that they'll still need to buy another striker or two at least.
Yeah.
Someone with different style as well. Um, but it's a disappointing start to the transfer window for them, in my opinion.
They haven't actually signed him yet, but it's going to happen apparently. So let's hope the transfer falls apart. Um,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then,
Well,
go on.
no, go on. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just going to say Zabalotny and Mukhin moved, and then Ruben signed 2 players, and that's about it.
Yeah. Well, we might as well just stay on the topic of transfers for the
All
moment.
right.
We'll go on to this one. Obviously this is your boy now.
Yeah,
You and him are employed by the same person, Hannah. How does that feel?
that's honestly mad. And and
It
he's
is,
liked
isn't
my
it?
tweets, like often. So
Well, there you go. So you have more of a connection to Alex Kral than any West Ham fan.
yeah,
But West Ham apparently are among 5 clubs in the Premier League who have spoken to Alex Kral. It seems like West Ham is probably the likeliest option at the moment, for a few reasons. First of all, they've been looking at him for a while now.
hmm
Second of all, his countryman Suchek is already in their midfield, and look, he was so good. During this season, like he was in the talks to be one of the Premier League players of the season.
and top scorer. Like
Um,
he scored so many goals from defensive midfield.
exactly,
It's mad, that guy.
exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if, David Moyes or someone in at West Ham had spoken to him and been like, "Look, clearly, you are up to the standard.
Yeah,
Do you know anyone else who's up to the standard of the Premier League?" And unsurprisingly, of course, he would say Kral. If that conversation ever did happen, or maybe they consulted and were like, "Oh, we're looking at this guy. What you reckon?"
yeah,
And I can't imagine him saying no. And at the end of the day, like these two are the two midfielders that, you know, um, that beat England just a couple of years ago for Czech Republic. So um, wouldn't be a massive surprise to see him go. Hanu, what do you think as an employee of
Yeah,
Spartak?
that's why I have to
Right.
tread lightly with this.
I'm not talking about how likely it is to happen or whatever. I'm not asking you for any insights. What do you think of this transfer? Do you think that first of all, I won't say what likelihood it's going to happen. If it happens, will Kral do well? And where do you think that Spartak should invest the, let's say, 20 million that they get for him?
That's fair. Yeah, I don't have any inside information anyway, so I couldn't help, even if I wanted to. But I think he's going to do well, man. They've got Kufal as well, and they've got Suchek, and like Kral is super in touch with his Slavia friends still. That like they seem to have a very tight knit group over there. So I think he went to the Czech Republic now, and he's like training with them, playing with them, having fun with them. Um, so yeah, I think it's a transfer that makes sense, especially with West Ham's policy. It's also been pretty fun and humorous to see a proper deluge of West Ham fans in um, RFN mentions, in Spartak mentions. So I think yeah, I think it'll be a good transfer for all parties if the money is right. 20 million I think is a good number. I think that should be invested in. It's a tough question, man. I think we don't know what Rui Vittoria is going to, what system he's going to play, what players he's going to like. Because you have to remember, a lot of players came back from loan, and everybody's going to be given a chance in the first training camp. But I think a new right back maybe,
Okay.
um, and
They have been looking at a couple, haven't they?
I think so. Yeah, there's rumors going about of that. A new right back, and I think the main thing Spartak need is depth. Honestly, I think the starting 11 is good enough.
Okay.
But the depth, I think if people like Mirzov, Glushenkov, Timofeyev, all of them stay, I think that's a good enough team to win the league with a couple of
Right, okay.
additions. But yeah, how would you spend that 20 million?
Well, first of all, I'd have to replace Kral. I feel like that's the obvious one.
Yeah,
But with who? I'm not too sure because he does so much work in that midfield.
yeah.
Like it would be very very difficult to replace him, and I'm not sure how many players for that budget you'd be able to get in. Um, Now saying that, Spartak have been able to do that before. They've had players like Fernando and stuff like that that
Yeah.
have been very very good in that role. Um, but I, I don't know what tactics Rui Vittoria wants to deploy. I have no idea. Like I actually have nothing. Um, like I know nothing about his tactics or the way he wants to play or anything. So it's difficult for me to predict. But if they were gonna play the same way as they did last season, I feel like replacing Kral, you know, like you mentioned, getting a few of those players back from loan and keeping them on. Um, a right back, yeah, I guess. Um, Although like Victor Moses is pretty
Yeah,
good.
he's sick.
I know he kind of played like a wing back,
Exactly.
but
That's the thing. I think Pretoria might want to play him on the wing. Otherwise, if he wants to play right back, then that's perfect. You don't need anything.
yeah,
But for Kral, people have been saying Jorrit Hendricks is sort of the natural successor. We haven't seen much.
I guess
Yeah, we
actually.
haven't seen much of him so far. But I don't know, Omiarov, Jorrit Hendricks. Uh, Till went on loan to the Netherlands again. Hope he, because last season he didn't get any game time at Freiburg, so hope he gets to play football at least.
I'm
Um,
sure he will. I'm sure he will.
yeah, but it's interesting, man. And Alex Kral, by the way, has a great YouTube channel. You need to watch his recent vlog. Take some time
Does he
off.
have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, he's got a great YouTube fam. Like the man has better media than three-fourths of the RPL.
Mm,
The cinematography is insane. The videographers are great. The storyline, like it's a Benzema vlog, not as show offy, but it was like a typical day in a life vlog, but just executed very well. So you need to go onto his channel and watch that. and give him a sub or whatever.
Respect.
Yeah, so he's investing in his media. I respect that. Um,
That's good. That is, I like how footballers are really taking their own stories into you know, taking their own stories into their hands. You know,
yeah,
back in the day, whatever the media said about you, that's what people thought about you.
yeah,
Whereas now, like, you know, although your dads might say, "Oh, here, like these players, all they spend is their time on social media and stuff like that," but at the end of the day, like it is their own life, and they're trying to control their own narrative,
yeah,
and I think they're absolutely well in their right to do that.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but before we move on to anything else, I actually wanted to mention another transfer rumor to you,
Go on.
another Spartak man,
Mm.
and it's Jordan Larson,
Yeah,
and he has been linked to Wolfsburg.
right.
What's your opinion?
That would be good for Jordan Larson. For Wolfsburg, he can play with ex Dynamo man Maximilian Philipp. Uh,
Oh,
but the thing I saw was that they put in a 10 million euro bid, and
yeah.
I'm not Leonid Ferdun. The closest I've ever been to Leonid Ferdun was he accepted my LinkedIn request 3 years ago. So and I don't know, he cut me off or he changed accounts. He's not there anymore. But even as the social media guy, I can tell you that is a terrible bid. 10 million euros for Jordan, like give at least double that, or just get close to 20. But I don't know if they're trying to lowball and you know how you put like a player on FM that's worth 20 million, you start off with 5 million and 5 million worth of installments. Maybe that's what they're going for, but you're gonna have to do better. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think 10 million is way too low. I do think Larson should stay for one more season. I feel like he's almost got, like, he has got potential to be Spartak legendary status if he stayed for a long time in his career, kind of like what his dad did with Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he is ambitious enough to go to a better league in Europe, you know, next season or the season after that.
Yeah,
So like I think he'll succeed wherever he goes because he's a fantastic striker and
and he seems like
kind of
a
jealous that he plays for Spartak.
and he seems like a great guy, honestly. Like Kral and Larson, they're both so likable. His team is very
Yeah,
likable. Even with Tedesco, it was super likable, and I hope that stays.
super likable. Yeah,
Yeah. We have just one more rumor. I promise we'll get off these. But Dinamo want to sign all of Uruguay.
saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were linked
there
to
was Godin and who
and
else?
Luxalt, who gets linked to Russia every year, without fail,
You know
every window.
when he played at the World Cup, I genuinely like was praying Zenit would pay for him because man, his World Cup 2018, he was arguably the best left back at that tournament. He was unbelievable. Like he was such an engine. I remember watching him for Uruguay. I was like, holy shit, this guy's insane. So like he clearly has quality,
Yeah.
but over the last 2-3 years, he just hasn't been able to show it. So I don't necessarily think it'd be a bad transfer, but like you said, it's a transfer rumor that happens every single
Every single
window.
year. Yeah. Krasnodar, Dinamo, CSK, Lokomo, every club. Like it's just it's mad, honestly. Um, but yeah, you want to get to the final Russia squad?
Yeah, we may as well move on to that. It's weird, you know, like obviously people listening will know that we move on from thing to thing, but it's weird that we left the Euros only to come back onto them. This is like I don't care if this is in Spanish, right? All that is the positions in
Yeah.
Spanish.
Artem
This is
reads.
a beautiful
Artem knows
graphic.
Spanish anyway.
This is a beautiful
It
graphic.
is.
So respect to Minuto
This guy has a
Russo.
great YouTube channel,
Like
by the way. If you speak Spanish,
he does.
yeah, his all of his stuff is great. Give him a follow.
You know what? Even if you don't speak
Just
Spanish,
watch them.
just go over and watch Minuto Russo, right?
Yeah.
Watch one or two videos about Russian football. You'll understand 90% of it
Yeah.
because you've read it in the news already. But the quality of the video is always insane.
Very well
Like I
produced.
wish. Do you know if that guy speaks English at all? Because if he does, we need to get him on the podcast.
He does, but not too well. Like he types, he can type it, but I think we had spoke.
Okay.
Yeah, he can't speak it too well. But shit, what a guy.
Look, we'll have to just learn Spanish then,
Yeah.
and we'll do a special episode.
Yeah, for sure. You already have tennis club experience with Spanish, so I'm sure.
I do.
Yeah, you
I
can.
do. I have tennis club experience, paddle club experience.
Yeah,
So, um, yeah, that will happen in the future.
yeah,
But we'll move on to this team. So, right, the three goalkeepers we'd mentioned them already when we were talking about the Russia squad earlier is Shunin, Safonov, and Tupin.
yeah. Lunev got
Can't
cut.
fault him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, cannot fault that at all.
Yeah,
That's what I kind of expected to happen.
yeah.
So, next onto the
The
defenders:
defense has.
Karavayev, Zhirkov, Diveev, Fernandez, Jikia, Semyonov, and Kudrashov.
I'm not gonna lie.
Samoshnikov is the one who got caught, right?
Yeah, he has like a 10-day injury, so Cherchesov just chucked him out.
Okay, well, that kind of makes sense
Yeah.
then, I guess.
And Evgeniev, by the way, who I think should not have been cut out.
Shit, yeah. I forgot that he was in the squad even. He definitely should have stayed in the squad. I don't care if it was for Kudrashov, I don't care if it was for, like, even, like, I know Semyonov's been okay for Russia, but I wouldn't even mind Evgeniev ahead of him. I'm a big fan of him. So, it's annoying to see him get cut out. Fyodor Kudrashov, he's not
So
Russian
so
football
dead.
standard anymore.
So dead.
He's dead.
Yes.
But you know what, Hanu? You still have to respect him because he's playing abroad.
It's Turkey, and it's mid-table Turkey.
You can't say that, Hanu. You've been trying to lobby for players to move over to Belgium and like
Yeah.
all these other clubs. I'd rather that players move to Turkey than Belgium.
No, you don't. What are you? You're just lying.
I
You're lying.
I'm not lying. The Belgian league is not as good as the Turkish league, especially when it gets to like the teams that are signing Russian players in Turkey are tend to be clubs that are in Europe.
You
So
know the thing about Turkish football though is that they don't have a limit, and the exports out of Turkey recently have been pretty sick. So Russia needs to understand something from them. Although we do run the risk of becoming a Turkish style league, which I really don't want because I just feel like that's a real black hole for players, unless you're playing for the top four clubs. But yeah,
you need to decide, Hanu.
no, I'm not gonna.
You like the whole Angie project, and that's all that
No,
was. That
that
was turning
wasn't.
Russia into
Turkey
Turkey.
Turkey is just signing any person with two legs and the ability to kick a ball. Like, I'm not even kidding, there was this news piece that came out, right? And it was this club in the second division. I think I even mentioned it on the podcast. They just signed this random Nigerian fella in their winter window. And it turned out that
Yeah,
he was just a guy. He never played football
just a guy.
before, no professional experience. So that's what the standards are. But
Yeah, I get you.
but
Although, like, Marx Lenin was signed in Russia for no other reason than his name.
and yeah, and I don't know even what happened to that guy. But
He was really fat or something. Like he was like outrageously fat when he got to the club
wonder if he's thin
and
now.
didn't
Uh,
get any game time. Like that's almost I'd argue that's almost stupider than the Turkey thing.
well, you don't expect to sign a fat man, do you?
No, but like Hanu, can you tell me any other reason except his name that he got signed?
No, I can't. Yeah.
Exactly.
But at least it was funny.
But yeah, but the Turkish thing is funny too.
No, the Turkish thing is unintentionally funny. This
Let's
was
be honest,
intentional.
Russia and Turkey are the same. The only difference is the limit. That's
And
it.
the weather. The weather.
Eh,
Listen, Zhirkov
I
should not be
guess.
in the squad. Unless he's there
Yeah,
for
Zhirkov
just
shouldn't be in the
mentoring
squad.
purposes. Because if Cherchesov's going to play at three at the back, it's going to be Zikia and if it's Diviv, then that's a good player, but the other two are not good. Like,
Yeah.
Romelu Lukaku will score 7. Timu Puki might score 4. And who do Denmark have? Christian Eriksen. He's going to have fun as well.
Oh no, he won't. He's gonna get killed. Anyway,
Yeah.
actually, pick me a goalkeeper.
Dupin.
Okay, Dupin. Do you know what? We'll try and work together on this one, right? I'm happy to go Dupin.
Okay.
We have to pick a squad, right? What formation we playing? Are we gonna go for Stanley's
No, no, no.
5-3-2?
You are
Whatever it
Stanley.
is.
You create your formation, what you'd like to see, and I'll do mine.
No, I think we should work together on it
Well, okay. Well,
because I feel like in that case then if we're gonna have arguments over some things.
Is that not good?
That is good. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Like, okay. Well then, sure. Let's
So
go.
right,
Let's
well,
go with
I'm happy to
this.
go duping. Right.
Yeah. Let's
So
let's go with five two
what
three.
formation are we playing?
Let's go with this 5-2-3.
Let's go 5-2-3. Right. So who's your right back?
Carvalho. Mario.
Who's
If
your
he's
left
fit,
back?
Mario. Sorry. Who's my left back is
Okay.
Carvalho.
That's exactly what I was gonna go for. Because I was gonna say if you're going Caravaggio right back, you're not like you're definitely not putting
No,
Mario at left
no.
back.
I'd pick myself over Zhirkov. Yeah, I'd
Okay.
pick Tom
There
Alex
we go.
Weber
Right.
over
So
Zhirkov.
exactly
Yeah.
perfect. So we've got that. We've got that down. We've got our two full backs and our keeper. Centre backs.
See, there's no choice.
There isn't a choice to be had, is there?
E-
It's just those three: Divev,
Like, why
Jukia, and
why
Simonov.
would you want to play 5-2-3 and only have four center backs and seven wingers? You don't have wingers in your thing. But we'll get to that in a
Well, what
second.
could happen in the end is, and this has happened before, Caravaggio plays right, Shirkovs plays left, and Mario plays as a centre back.
Has that happened before?
That's happened before, yeah.
Cherchesov's not serious. He's not serious. But no, I'd play with Diveev, Shakia, and Semenov.
Okay. Me too.
Okay, good.
This is going to be a bit more difficult now, right?
Oof,
So
nice.
we've got, like, obviously we've got to take four players from here because although it is a 5-2-3, like, there's only, one of the strikers going up front, and we have to pick two wingers out of this. So, first of all, who got cut out of this? I thought
Zakharyan,
Zaharian, yeah, that's the
because he
one.
has throat.
That's a
He has a
shame.
throat problem.
Not massively surprising though.
Yeah, I'm not too mad at it.
Who are you going for?
It's mad that Makarov actually made it into the team, by the way. Like, I'm surprised at that. But I'm going for Fomin and Zobnin in the middle.
Okay.
And then, do you want the three?
Four, you mean?
Yeah, like, do you want the people above them as well, or do you just want the midfielders?
Oh yeah, go
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
Then I'd probably choose Golovin Miranchuk and then
Yeah.
Eldor Shomurodov up front.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. What would
Brilliant.
you do?
So for me, I think Foreman's got a good chance. I'd like to see him in there, but if I'll agree with you on that. If he's not there, then I want to see Baranov in there.
Fair enough.
So I'm happy to go for him as the second. And I agree with those other two, Alexei Miranchuk and Alexander Golovin. I think that they're the obvious choices there. Obviously Cheryshev always shows up for his country, so wouldn't be against that either. Mostavoy has a lot of potential. Shamaletnov has had a good season, so
Yeah.
I can't believe that we've made it this far without any differences in our squads, right? And who are you having up front?
Juba.
Okay, I have Zabolotny.
Okay. No, but here's the thing, right? All I wanted to do.
I love how you just say okay. It's just okay.
Yeah, no, because I know you're memeing. But the thing is,
I love how that's at CSK, by the way.
he's up to date, dude. He's up to date. Don't
He's up to date.
don't disrespect Minuto like that. But all you've got to do, Artem, is imagine Cherchesov takes one of his average centre backs and replaces that with an attacking midfielder. Now what you've got is Diviv and Zikia at the back, which is great. Then Mario and Karavayev. Then you've got Zobnin and Barinov, Ostoev, and whoever. And then the three can be Miranchuk, Golovin, and Cheryshev. Or Miranchuk, Golovin, and Makarov.
That sounds so much
And
better.
then Zuba up front.
That sounds so much better.
That's a team that can go far.
Oh man.
But he wants to play Kudryashov.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this guy?
I'm gonna trust him still. Until I'm giving him this tournament. Like I said, there's I have 100% faith in the tactics that he's gonna put in, and if he doesn't succeed in this tournament, by succeed, I'm gonna say
Win.
if he doesn't get out of the group,
Yeah. Because you need to only finish third. Just beat Finland. get a draw somewhere else.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like I said, I actually have a feeling Russia will finish um for first or second.
You're way too
Like I was
optimistic.
no, I don't think I am. I think well maybe I am. Like I said before, I think that we'll actually get a result against Belgium. I just hope we don't fuck up the other two.
How are Belgium doing
Um,
actually? Because I know they still have Thomas Vermaelen in their squad.
yeah, Belgian fans were actually going a bit crazy about their squad because they had so many just dead players,
I feel like
and I feel like
no one is truly happy ever with international squads because there's every country has Ionov and Zhirkov of their own. You'll see it everywhere. Um, like Deschamps calls up Giroud and some other fella all the time, and the French don't like it. And Belgium's last game was an 8-0 victory over Belarus. Are you there?
yeah,
Okay, so you're
so
just speechless at that.
just absolutely speechless.
Right, yeah, they're actually. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. What else do we want to discuss
This
next? Yeah, go on.
this is no, the Euros are going to be super. Like I honestly think that it's going to be a really really fun tournament.
Yeah.
Um, it's weird. It doesn't feel like it's 9 days away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I just can't imagine watching the Euros. I was meant to be going to them,
Yeah.
but that kind of probably pissed me off enough that I just don't think about them anymore.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've already made our predictions. I think the next thing we have to talk about is obviously your main team
Yes.
and this. So first of all, what we saying about Zidane leaving? Second of all, what we saying about Ancelotti coming in?
Right. So there's a mad managerial merry-go-round at the moment. Um, Zidane leaving will always make me sad. He could get relegated and leave, and it would make me sad because he's such a great guy. And he even put out a
Yeah,
whole letter saying thank you to the fans and sort of calling out Perez and the club and so on. And then Perez decided to, he woke up and he felt dangerous. So he hired a good fitness coach. He's getting a director of football in. And then Conte said no to him, Allegri said no to him, Raul said no to him, Pochettino said no to him. Um, and then he called up young Carlo, who was in Birkenhead, who was in Everton. And Carlo just bolted it. He came running to Madrid, took a 50% pay cut. And I don't know what to think, man. I really don't know what to think because I'm positive because I feel like as great of a manager Zidane was, I feel like we just for the sake of something different, I want to see how we do with him with Ancelotti. He's promised
yeah,
attacking football. He's promised that he's sort of going to integrate the squad. I think one thing about Zidane that I wasn't always too sure on was his rotation and his ability to how he dealt with the players out on loan and so on. So I think with Odegaard and a couple of others that are coming in, I think it's going to be exciting. Ancelotti did win us the 10th Champions League, right? I'm not a massive fan of him, but I'm willing to give him a chance. I don't have any other choice. It's better than Raul. It's better than Xabi Alonso. Better than all of these Ivica Olic type managers. Um, but yeah, what do you think of Ancelotti?
I think that he suits Real much more than he does Everton. When he came into Everton, a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, this is where Everton turn around and everything." I just thought to myself, Ancelotti is not that kind of manager who's going to turn everything around. He started the season very well, like for 10 games or so. Everyone thought that Everton are going to win the league, but very quickly then it changed and they went back to being Everton.
Yeah.
Um, I really don't know if he deserves to be back at Real, but it'll be interesting to see how he does. I feel like the quality of La Liga managers is
Dropping.
swiftly dropping.
Yes.
I think Simeone may actually he is the best manager in the league. I think that Simeone might actually look to win the league again next season. With these two frauds in place. Um, yeah, Barcelona and now Real.
Hmm.
Um, okay, fraud's a bit harsh on Ancelotti, but I can't see him doing the greatest job next season.
I think you look at it, to be fair, the quality of managers, the quality of teams below the Real Madrid, Atletico, Barcelona bracket is like increasing. Um,
Yeah,
Mr. Europa League can't stop winning Europa Leagues. Sevilla are a proper club. So there's stuff over there, but and Barcelona are making lots of free agent signings, man. Like they're playing Football Manager. Signed Aguero, Garcia, going to sign Wijnaldum and Memphis Depay as well. I don't know how they're going to
yeah,
fit all of those, but
it's a wild one. It's gonna be really interesting to see how they set up. I just can't imagine them doing very well next season either, though. Even with all those
and they're
signings, I
going to
feel
have
like
to
it's just
sell
gonna be
people, man. Their wage bill is already crazy.
yeah.
So and we've signed David Alaba as a counter to that.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what to think of it. It's a signing, so Wes Hoolahan is trending. I'd prefer Wes Hoolahan to Gareth Bale. There's a fair few players that I'd
why is Wes Houlihan trending? He's the greatest player in Irish history,
probably
obviously.
retired or something for the third time.
No, he's signed a 1 year contract.
He is the Irish Pogrebniak.
Look at no, he's are you stupid? This guy is one of the most technically gifted players
So,
to
so,
come from
so is
Ireland. He's
Pogrebniak is
unbelievable on the
Pogrebniak
ball.
not technically gifted? What are you talking about?
No, he's absolutely not.
So,
No, this guy is
so is
just beautiful. Just
Pavlyuchenko
look at that.
better than?
No, but this guy's in the striker, and he's also like 5'1" or something. This guy's there's a reason he's called Wessie.
I know Wes Hoolahan, okay? Norwich legend. Norwich
Yeah,
legend.
exactly. He's a baller. There's no you can't kind of compare him to that plank of wood.
Finally, you're calling him a plank of wood. Like I've been trying to do that, and you, damn, he is the Pogrebniak of Ireland. He's 39, man.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because he's
He doesn't play
39.
like Pogrebnik at all, and
No, no,
he's
no.
still
We don't
useful.
care. We do not care.
Wessie, Wessie,
Big West.
unbelievable.
He made
Look at that,
3 PFA Team of the Year.
unbelievable.
That's mad. That is mad. Who else is? It's been a crazy window. Who else? Okay, Pochettino's apparently going to leave PSG. Conte left.
Pochettino apparently is leaving PSG, and people are saying that he may go back to Spurs. I don't see it. I think Conte's gone to Spurs. I think Pochettino. This is my show. I think Pochettino will end up at Everton,
Okay, fair enough.
and I'd love for him to go to Zenit, to be honest, but I know it's not gonna happen. But that's my prediction that he's gonna go to Everton after a month or two of thinking about what he wants to do.
Yeah.
He's gonna see the potential with the squad there. He's gonna see that they have some very very good players that their owners clearly want them to push on into the European spaces. It's gonna be very similar to what he did with Southampton,
Yeah.
how he brought Spurs up. I think that he'd succeed if he went there. I think in his place at PSG, there's only one man for it, and it's Zidane. It's your boy. And the reason I say that I think he's gonna go there, is because we've talked about this already. He's a master at winning the Champions League,
Yeah.
and that's their biggest goal right now. That's all they care about. So
Yeah.
that makes sense. The Conte to Spurs thing makes sense. The Pochettino to Everton thing makes sense to me. That's what I see happening.
Yeah. Honestly, like so many, it's been such a crazy window in managerial terms. Zidane's a Marseille fan, so I don't know if that's going to stop him from going to PSG because that's the big beef over there in France.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would mind because people love Zidane in France. Um, I guess you could say he's the Algerian Benzema. Um,
You could say that.
yeah. But imagine if Zidane, like, here's what I was thinking, right? Pep Guardiola bought her the Champions League.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Chelsea won it because when they drew to Krasnodar, That was their final game of the group stage. You could not convince me that they were going to win the Champions League, and they did it somehow. And Kai Connell scored the winning goal. Fair enough. Boy from Hull scoring the winning goal in the Champions League final. That's a pretty rare thing. But I would, if I was City, right, I would honestly consider sacking Pep and hiring Zidane. Because I think Zidane would create an insane team. Because they're going to back him. Perez doesn't back people. And PSG sporting director is super dodgy. Their squad is extremely imbalanced. But just Zidane would win the Champions League in his first season at Man City. What do you think?
Wow. Wow. I don't think he would.
You don't think so?
No, but I think that I think he has a better chance of winning at PSG.
I
I
mean,
think
it would
that
be crazy
the
regardless.
ability to focus purely on the Champions League, like City fans, they'd be happy if they won the Champions League, but you'd still need to compete and do very well in the league. Like they'd still be looking to win the league at the same time. With PSG, it's a lot easier to focus on both competitions. Like, okay, they lost it this season, but I feel like they'd still have the quality to win it and focus on the Champions League, and I think that that suits Zidane much more than City would.
Right. That I think it would make a lot of sense, honestly. PSG, not City. City is just me dreaming. And
Yeah,
I would love to see it because, and to be fair, the fact that it's France will help him because people, I just said, how respected he is in France.
yeah.
Whereas in England, you would have Richard Keys telling us how he's a fraud. So,
And you know what should happen then as well?
yeah.
If Real are gonna go for Mbappe, Zidane should bring Benzema back
Ooh.
to France.
Ooh. That would be mad.
It
It
would.
would be mad. But I think if Zidane goes to PSG, Mbappe is not going to come, and that's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. But where should Domenico Tedesco go, man? There's jobs everywhere, but the poor fella is just not being considered. Well, okay, right. If Tedesco was to take over like one big club, what club do you think he'd do the best at?
Um, what constitutes a big club?
A big club, just a big club, man.
Like Champions League, like.
Yeah.
Uh, I think he would do well at. I don't know. See, I think that he's kind of got the same vibe as Klopp. So
Yeah.
I was thinking Liverpool,
Yeah.
but like if Klopp ever leaves Liverpool, it's probably because his tactics aren't working anymore, or like
Yeah.
whatever. But it's that kind of same vibe that I get from Tedesco as I do from Klopp. So someone like that, an attacking team anyway. I don't know exactly. What about you? Who do you think?
That's a good shout, honestly. I think somebody in Germany probably would, but I think he could do well at Napoli or Milan or something.
Good shouts as well. I think Napoli more so. I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like Milan is a little bit more. I don't know. Like Milan doesn't give me the same passionate feeling that you know
Yeah.
you'd see from say Napoli fans these days. Maybe he could bring that back though. Maybe he would be the reason for that to be.
Honestly, Milan's rebrand is as good as Ruben's rebrand. Because I remember the days when their fans, like
I'm not
the
sure.
stadium wasn't full. Fans were saying drop coin to save Milan. And now they've completely gentrified their entire club. Done really well, have a great squad. DJ Khaled is their biggest fan. He's on their page every 3 days. It's nice, man. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, but the gentrification there is what I think makes it a little bit more dead. Like I'd almost rather that like they've done really well, but like for me, I feel like Ruben have done it much more organically,
Mm,
and I think that that's why like I
that,
wouldn't even consider him as the same.
that's fair. That's fair. Napoli hired Spalletti, Zenit legend. Um, But yeah, who do you think is going to win the NBA? What do you think of the
I don't
playoffs?
know. Did you see the matchup between the Knicks and or sorry, not the Knicks, the Nets and the Bucks?
The Knicks,
That is
yes,
gonna
the
be
Knicks.
big.
The Knicks have to win tomorrow to save their season, otherwise they're out, which would be a shame.
Yep.
Um,
And yeah, like
I think the Nets will
it's
win.
it's 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 an uphill battle.
It is.
Let's say
It is
that.
an uphill battle. I think the Nets will win that though. What do you think?
Do you think the Nets will win?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a close one. Like I hope the Nets win because it'd be just more interesting. Like they've got a lot of great players in. Obviously, like I love Giannis as well, but I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool to see the Nets like prove that they could do what they set out to do because when they signed all these players at the start of the season, it was like, okay, no, this is it's now or never. You have to win with this team. You
Yeah.
cannot win with this team. So I hope that they follow through and they do win.
Yeah. Fair enough. Um, I still hope the Knicks win, but it's very, very unlikely. Um,
Did you see Damian Lillard pulling off an absolute
yeah, I
madness?
did, man. I actually watched the clip, of course, and I watched an entire game of the NBA before the Champions League final. It was the Heat versus somebody. I'm gonna pull up who somebody was. It was
Is the Bucks.
it was not the, oh yeah, it was the Bucks. And the Heat were winning by 10 points in the first quarter, and they just bottled it, which was really surprising. Um, but yeah, the NBA is a fun league, man. Fun
It
league.
is. It is super fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends up playing out. The Suns are 3-2 up against the Lakers as well, which is pretty surprising. Well, I guess
The,
like the Suns have been having a good season, but
the
like
Disneyland,
you still kind of expect LeBron to be at least winning his conference.
the Disneyland Lakers. What do you think of J. Cole becoming a basketball player? And what in his entire spell in Rwanda?
Did we discuss this last week?
No, we just discussed
I
it.
thought we did.
We just discussed it on chat because you sent.
Oh well,
Yeah,
my opinion hasn't changed since chat. It's that I think fair play to him.
yeah,
People were laughing at him because he got something like
3 points.
5 points, 5 rebounds, and like 2 assists or something like that. But like he played 45 minutes, and I think for a rapper who's playing in a professional league, that's not bad. Like I really don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, that reminds me of Drake. Why won't Drake drop his album, man? Can you tell him to drop his album?
I don't know, but I'm looking forward to whatever he drops.
Yeah, because he had an entire bar on that song with Nicki Minaj where he's talking about, I played 48 minutes on a torn meniscus, who's subbing? Drop your album. Don't give us physiotherapy bars. Um, but yeah, we got anything else to discuss this week?
I really don't think so. I think this is it.
This is it. Well, yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. We're trying to get guests on. Always try to get guests on. With the Euros, it's probably going to be a bit easier. Um, and yeah, Artem, you want to do the honors? Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, just the usual as always, lads. If you enjoyed the podcast, Gold Medal Sport Rex, like on YouTube, comment on Twitter or whatever. We actually never did that poll about Kurzakov and Zuba. I realized we should do that this
Yeah.
week. But yeah, that's been us for this week. So enjoy your week, and we'll see you next time.